Khader has sparked a major controversy after making the pitch that the National Highways Authority of India should introduce a special lane for MLAs and former MLAs. The pitch was made to Public Works Department Minister Satish Jarkioli after Congress MLA Prasad complained that he's often stopped at toll plazas and asked to show his ID card. Meanwhile, another Congress MLA, Narendra Swamy, has accused toll plaza officials of misbehaving with him. The BJP and citizens activists have rained fire on the Congress, which has championed welfare politics ahead of the elections, accusing it of exposing its VVIP culture and mindset after winning the elections. After the outrage, Karnataka Speaker did a U-turn, saying that what he meant to say was that there is a need for emergency lanes and not separate lanes for netas. However, many activists have pointed out that such lanes exist and commuters use fastags for smooth traffic amid the infrastructure woes that are faced by urban centers. Is this a power trip that reeks of VVIP arrogance?
ಕರೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಲೈನ್ ವಿಐಪಿ ಲೈನ್ ಅವರ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಮಾಜಿ ಶಾಸಕರು ಸೇರ್ಪಡೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು.
ये तो स्पीकर साहब की अध्यक्ष में एक सभा हो रहा है, उसमें चर्चा हो जाएंगे. अगर मेरा ख्याल से अभी ऑलरेडी वीआईपी लाइन है सेपरेटिज्म, सो अभी आया बनाने का शायद जरूरत नहीं है.
MLAs, many of them they were arrested. They said, please give us a pass also. And this issue is there. And seniors, ex-MLA told in the NHA guidelines policy, where they have got already emergency and representative lane is there. In that MLAs and other names are specified. Ex-MLAs are not specified. We are also respected and dignified and and aged also. So for us also you should consider the request was there by your ex-MLAs.
In our government, these issues had come up, but we had never allowed any VIP culture. But however, it has come from the Speaker. It's really surprising. And probably under the pressure of the Congress colleagues, he might have done it.
ಕರೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದು ಲೈನ್ ವಿಐಪಿ ಲೈನ್ ಅವರ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಮಾಜಿ ಶಾಸಕರು ಸೇರ್ಪಡೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಕ್ರಮ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು.
ये तो स्पीकर साहब की अध्यक्ष में एक सभा हो रहा है, उसमें चर्चा हो जाएंगे. अगर मेरा ख्याल से अभी ऑलरेडी वीआईपी लाइन है सेपरेटिज्म, सो अभी आया बनाने का शायद जरूरत नहीं है.
MLAs, many of them they were arrested. They said, please give us a pass also. And this issue is there. And seniors, ex-MLA told in the NHA guidelines policy, where they have got already emergency and representative lane is there. In that MLAs and other names are specified. Ex-MLAs are not specified. We are also respected and dignified and and aged also. So for us also you should consider the request was there by your ex-MLAs.
In our government, these issues had come up, but we had never allowed any VIP culture. But however, it has come from the Speaker. It's really surprising. And probably under the pressure of the Congress colleagues, he might have done it.
Is it a power trip proposal? A little later on in the program, we'll also try and open up our phone lines to get you, the viewers' thoughts on what exactly is going on here. Now, yes, subsequently, the Speaker came out and clarified what he's asking for is not a separate lane for VVIPs, but to be able to use the emergency lane. Now, let's be very, very clear about this, ladies and gentlemen. There are emergency lanes in highways across the world. You travel anywhere in the world, the US, Canada, Britain, Australia. There's one lane that's dedicated for ambulances, fire services, other emergency services, law enforcement agencies, etc. Never are those lanes ever used by politicians who are on a power trip. So, let me ask that to Dr. Narendra Rangappa, spokesperson of the Karnataka BJP, is joining us. Bhavya Narasimhamurthy is spokesperson of the Karnataka Congress. She'll also be joining us in a moment. Dr. Rangappa, the Speaker coming out and saying that there should be separate lanes for VVIPs, and then subsequently is clarified saying that VVIP should be able to use the emergency lane. Why should they be given the privilege of using the emergency lane? That's for emergencies, not for people who think that they are above the common citizens of this country.
Sir, this is a classical case of Congress party displaying their feudalistic mentality and aristocratic behavior. This is totally contradictory to the claim that the Congress cares for the common man, which is totally oxymoron. First, they are not paying any taxes, they are exempted. Now they want to have a separate lane. Now they want to overtake ambulances also. Second, they'll be asking for a separate lane and road for them. This is totally unacceptable and displays the sense of duty what they have for a common man. They're totally not bothered when they're voting and when they're asking for their votes. They say common man is the God and all the things. And after they win and they come into power, they totally neglect the common man. This is a very classical example. Whereas BJP did away with the Lal Batti culture. So this is a classical indication again that BJP is a party for common man.
Okay, no. Once again, I don't want to make this political. This is a class issue. There are a set of people in this country who believe the laws are different for them, and this reeks of that VVIP culture, irrespective of party politics. Bhavya Narasimhamurthy of the Congress is joining us. Bhavya, why? What explains and why should the people, the taxpayers of Karnataka, fund a separate lane or allow politicians to take the emergency lane? Are they the only people who are in a hurry? Should they be given some kind of privilege just because they happen to be elected representatives? I mean, what sort of VVIP mindset is this? That we are a different class of citizens, the regular rules and laws don't apply to us.
You know, the Speaker of Karnataka Assembly has very clearly said that he is not approving something like this. And it was two MLAs who complained regarding some of the behavior of toll, the people who collect toll against them. But otherwise, the Speaker has come out and given a complete clarification that they will be using the regular VIP lane and there won't be any VVIP lanes separate.
No. One second. First of all, why should there be the idea that there should be a separate lane for MLAs? It doesn't make any sense. It is antithetical to democracy.
Of course it is. That's exactly why the Speaker has denied any of such privileges.
So the Speaker has come out and said, one second, sir, one second. The Speaker has come out and said the clarification includes that he's only asking for the Bengaluru-Mysuru Expressway, the new one that was built. He's saying that allow legislators to use the emergency lane. Why? What sort of emergency are they in that they should be allowed to use the emergency lane? Bhavya.
So, are we speaking about the VVIP culture or the emergency lane? Emergency lanes are meant for emergencies, right? In case an MLA needs to reach the assembly on time or something, he might have said. But it has nothing to do with the VVIP culture. Because
sorry, ma'am, I'm really sorry. No. Is an emergency that an MLA is running late to attend the assembly, or is an emergency that somebody's life is on under threat, and therefore the ambulance has to take the emergency lane? Come on, let's not make a mockery. Let's not make a mockery, Bhavya. Come on, you're a responsible spokesperson.
Let me tell you, let me bring this to your notice first, that we are a government where the Chief Minister very clearly denied zero traffic within 2 days after he took oath. He said he doesn't want this, which was followed by the previous government.
So then why are your MLAs asking for this emergency lane access? Why is the Speaker... Ma'am, please explain. Why is the Speaker writing to the PWD Minister saying that MLA should be allowed a free pass on this emergency lane? Why?
In case there is an emergency, he might have meant it. But he is very clearly saying that he is against this VVIP culture. whatever the MLAs demanded, of course, there was this Congress MLA himself. He complained inside the assembly saying that he faced some harassment in the hands of the toll people who denied his entry with the MLA pass. So when he proposed this, the speaker very clearly came out and said that we are not for such a thing.
Okay. Dr. Rangappa, respond to it. I don't understand. I don't understand why MLAs should not be asked for their ID card. Anyway, Dr. Rangappa.
Sir, I have followed the proceedings of the Vidhan Sabha today, and I did listen to the demands of P.N. Narendra Swamy and Abbayya clearly asking the Speaker to provide special lanes. And the Speaker calls up the Public Works Minister and instructs him to do the needful. This is the truth. And Congressperson is trying to mislead the people by trying to bend the facts. And it is hysterical to say that the MLA and his followers and his bodyguards and his gunmen were manhandled by the toll booth people. Totally wrong. BJP condemns such action, and this should be apologized by the Congress.
Okay, I told you the phone lines are open. The phone lines are open. The numbers are flashing on the bottom of your screen. We have a couple of callers who are calling us on the show. Mariam is our first caller. She's calling us from Bengaluru. Yeah, good evening, Mariam. Go ahead.
Hi, Zaka. I just think that there needs to be such rules, and it has to apply to other people. So it doesn't matter, what kind of emergencies that require them to have priority lanes.
All right. There's a problem with her audio. We'll try and see if we can fix it. But thanks for your call, Mariam. Kirti is calling us from Belgaum. Kirti.
Good evening, Zaka. I'm a regular watcher of your news channel. Well, of course, as the question itself says that the politicians do put their perks always on priority. It's always like this. It's Indian culture, I believe. It's in the mindset of the politicians. So there's nothing new about it or nothing surprising about it. Irrespective of the government, one government does more and the other government does a little bit less than them. But they have this thing in their mindset, and that's the reason.
Okay.
So it is in India.
All right. Thank you for your call. Naresh is calling us from Mysore. Naresh.
Good evening, Mr. Zaka.
Good evening.
I was shocked to hear from the Congress person that they want to use the emergency line, because most of the times the MLAs, they want to attend some party workers' marriage function or something like that. See, protocol is there for Prime Minister, for Chief Minister. If he comes in my lane, I'm ready to wait for 1 hour because he is a busy person. We should allow them to go for his duties. But the protocol is not for some joy or for some fun to these politicians to use the emergency line.
Okay, thank you for your call. I'll get one more caller in. Ravi is calling us from Bengaluru. Yeah, Ravi, go ahead.
Yeah, hi, Zaka. Good evening. This is Ravi from Bengaluru. Yeah. My point is actually we are going back on civilization on this thing, because there are people, there is a central government, there's Narendra Modi who eradicated this Lal Batti culture, and they are going in a positive way, proactive, in a positive way. But here people are demanding a separate lane for VVIPs. And the speaker today, if I've heard correctly, gone one step ahead and said that you will have to include all ex-MLAs and ex-MPs as well. Yeah. It will be thousands and thousands of people there. I can understand, like the previous caller said, if it's a prime minister, if it's a chief minister or a cabinet minister who has to go urgently, there is always a VVIP lane, which was always there in the toll, which can be shared with ambulance and the VVIP lane, because not always the ambulance goes first. Always the traffic would be there in that.
Okay.
But if you ask for ex-MLAs and ex-MPs, God save the traffic. The only thing they're not asking for is relatives and assistants and secretaries for them.
Okay. Thank you, Ravi. Sushil is calling us from Delhi. Sushil.
Jaka, good evening.
Good evening, yeah.
Actually, I wanted to know from the Congress spokesman, the respected lady who was speaking earlier, had this been from any MLA, it was acceptable. But was this was from the Speaker of the Karnataka? This is something which is unacceptable. And the way the Speaker said, it seemed as if the privileged party has his birthright to have this privilege.
All right, Sushil, thank you for your call. Pawan is calling us from Mysore. Pawan.
Hello, Zaka.
Yes, hello.
Can I speak to you?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. See, this particular route between Bangalore and Mysore was planned for employment and a lot of other facilities for people from Mysore to Bangalore. And we realized that it was such a big gift for us. But today, we find after the change in government, there is a continuous plan to sabotage the time that is being taken to travel to Mysore and Bangalore. This can really hamper a lot of activities like industry, job, education, and a whole lot of things. And we see since the change in government, even the city roads, we find a lot of disturbance from this new government.
All right, Pawan, we'll leave it at that. Thank you very much for your call. I'll give Bhavya as well as Dr. Rangappa the final word. Bhavya, the question one of our callers asked you is, why should the Speaker come up with this? I mean, what is the Speaker's locus in asking for access to the emergency lane?
So we need to set this straight, that the Speaker was not the one who proposed. In fact, the Speaker is the one who denied any VVIP culture on one hand. And what ethics do BJP people have to even speak about this? Because when Mr. Narendra Modi visited Bangalore, the whole city was shut down. The whole route was shut down. And they issued an order. The Karnataka government issued an order saying people are not supposed to come out of their house, come out of their gates. They're supposed to stand on the balcony and look at Mr. Modi. This is the elitism that BJP, reeks in.
Okay, Dr. Rangappa, final word. Respond to what she said. She's saying when the Prime Minister visited Bangalore for campaigning, the whole city was shut down.
The Congress spokesperson is misleading and she's providing false facts. Nobody is asked to stay away. There were definitely traffic restrictions, which was pre-planned, and even the High Court had given directions, and we have followed the High Court directions to the alphabet. So this is how we function. Not that we say one thing and do one thing. We say we are common man people and we behave like aristocrat. We say serve the people and you behave like a feudalistic mentality. So the Congress is totally feudalistic and aristocratic.
All right. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Dr. Rangappa, Bhavya Narasimhamurthy, thank you very much. And also thanks to all our callers for joining us on this special segment here on Brass Tacks. As we finally wrap up, we're shifting focus to a mega CNN News 18 ground report.